Alrighty guys, I'm going to share with you today on why I am buying a bunch of real estate right now. Now, there's a couple reasons, but I'm going to kind of highlight some of the biggest opportunities that I see in real estate specifically right now. For me, honestly, I think real estate is one of the best investments that we have accessible today. And there's a reason. If you look at how the economy has kind of played out over the past 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years, we've had a massive rally, right? Then we had a global pandemic. And guess what happened in that pandemic? The market crashed. So if we know that, hey, the market crashed and everybody panicked, right? This literally happened very, very quickly because of the pandemic, but we had such an incredible recovery from that. It was a real V-shaped recovery. If you know what a V-shaped recovery just means, it has a steep drop and then it has a steep curve back up. That V-shaped recovery really created a lot of wealth for a lot of people. A lot of people bought at that bottom. And so if you actually looked at the data of what was happening, a lot of those CEOs, they were selling. And why were they selling? By the way, that accelerates that drop down. So when we saw the market crashing, it was crashing faster because these CEOs were selling off their stock, a ton of stock, by the way. And then when it finished crashing, they started buying up at the very, very bottom, because guess what? They're not leaving their jobs, right? They still believe in the company, but they sold their stock at the top, they made a ton of money, and then they rebought at the bottom and they rode it all the way back up. What can we learn from that as investors? Well, we know that these guys clearly knew that the intrinsic value of their company still existed, right? Nothing was wrong with the company fundamentally. They were just buying up at a cheaper price. And so they know that in the long term, in 5, 10, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, this company is going to be around. This company is valuable. This company is going to continue growing in size, growing in revenue. Guess what? The stock price is most likely going to go up. They were willing to take that bet. A lot of investors made a lot of money because they started investing right when we were at the very bottom. And strategically, think about it like this. Remember when we had those stimulus checks? When did those stimulus checks get released? When we were at the very, very bottom of that crash, right? So we crashed. All of a sudden, people just had some extra money to invest. They had $1,000 here and $2,000 here. And guess what? No matter what they invest in, they're making money on. Literally everything that they were buying was going up in value. It's really easy to make money in a strong bull market. It's hard to make money in a bear market unless you really know how to short the market, but that's a whole different skill set. Now, if you're buying up in a bull market and everything is going up, you're probably going to make money no matter what. And so we have all these extremely confident investors because guess what? Everything they touch turns to gold. Everything they invest into just makes a lot of money. Those people who made a lot of money investing, they're like, wow, investing is so easy. All you do is buy low and sell high. And that sounds simple enough, but actually timing that is almost impossible. And there's actually studies that say that it's literally impossible to time the market. I believe that there are signals that you can take a look at within the market. Now, it's not going to be surface level signals. It's going to be deeper. So there are different indicators and measures that you can use within market data that can show you that, hey, the market's about to crash or the market is about to reverse, right? And so they're not always 100% accurate, but there's certain indicators that happen every single time. I'm going to actually teach this in one of my programs, but there's certain things that happen internally within the market that you can't really see with the naked eye unless you really know what you're looking at. If you're able to identify these strategies, you're able to see, hey, the market's about to crash. I should probably sell right now. Or hey, the market's about to go back up. So what I'm seeing right now in the real estate market and in the stock market, the reason I'm bringing the stock market into this is because they're usually pretty closely tied. What we see in the real estate market is that we saw such a crazy recovery recently, right, in the stock market, and real estate has been just flying. Now, real estate has crashed again and the stock market has crashed again. Now, everybody's expecting another V-shaped recovery. What may happen, and again, this is not financial advice, do your own due diligence, basically. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. If you want to use this as a confluence to your own due diligence, feel free. But in my own opinion, what's going to happen is we have a recovery again, right? And we have one of the craziest rallies we've ever seen, right? And this rally just teases more people into the market. Now, I believe that the people who are controlling the market and who are moving it, they could potentially move the market up to 40,000. The Dow, it could get up to 40,000 or 50,000. I think that if they really had their way, we could get up there. Is it actually going to happen? I don't know. It could in the short term, but I think that it also could lead to one of the largest crashes that we have ever seen in our entire life. And that's just because of how high the Dow actually is. It's not because of like percentage wise, but I think that if we can reach the 40,000 or 50,000 level, the crash from there could be massive. And we could potentially not even see the recovery on that crash for the next 20, 30, 40 years. It could take a very, very long time for that market to correct back up. I believe personally that within the next few years, real estate is going to go on a massive, massive rally. And so for me personally, I want to tie this back to real estate. I am buying up as much real estate as I possibly can because the market is down right now. The market has crashed and it's kind of stabilized a little bit. There's not so much panic. There's not so much fear in the market, but I think the market is going to continue sinking lower. And so I don't really know when it's going to bottom out. Nobody knows. But I do know that I can dollar cost average into real estate right now. I can start buying up deals because as the market has gone down, a lot of people are actually upside down on their loans. And so if people are upside down on their loans, guess what's going to start to happen? They're going to have to start selling off some of that real estate. And guess what? That means that the inventory is going to get flooded. We're going to have a lot more inventory in the market. We're going to have a lot more houses for sale, and people are going to be in a situation where they're very, very motivated to sell. And as investors, we need to identify those situations and understand that, hey, this is where we could build a position that is going to pay us for the rest of our lives. We could buy that piece of property. As it goes up in value, we simply just keep refinancing. So if we buy a property for $500,000 now and it goes up to $1 million worth in 10 years, right? Which is very, very possible. We could literally refinance, pull out our cash, pull out a lot of cash actually, which is tax-free by the way, because it's a loan. And we use that cash to now invest, create passive income, live our life, whatever we want to do, right? And we're just paying off that refinancing, right? For us, we never really want to let go of these assets. We're building our portfolio in times like this when the market is down and everybody's depressed and nobody wants to buy real estate or buy anything for that matter. We're the ones who are buying. We're smart investors. We're contrarian thinkers, which means we think opposite of everybody else. We want to take a look at, hey, what are the masses doing? Are they buying real estate right now? Not really. Everybody's scared to buy real estate. Well, guess what? That probably means that it's a good time to buy real estate. And so for me to get into the market right now, I believe is one of the biggest opportunities, at least in the near future. And as we have this rally go up, as the market continues to rally, I'm going to start locking in some of those profits through refinancing, through selling some of these properties and reinvesting it into other things. But I think that real estate has a huge rally ahead of it. I would say maybe another 6 to 12 months of slower markets, and then we could see one of the craziest rallies we've ever seen in our entire life. Now, of course, I could totally be wrong, and we could see real estate go down. And truthfully, it doesn't really matter. Whether it goes up or whether it goes down, I'm building wealth through these assets, which are cash flowing for me. One of the biggest focuses that I teach is cash flow. I want to buy things that are cash flowing. I'm not just buying them because they're pretty and I like them and the house is on the beach and oh, well, that kitchen is so nice. I don't care about any of that. I want to know how much cash flow I'm making from each one of my investments because those investments are funding my lifestyle. And if those investments are positive cash flow for me, well, guess what? The deal makes sense. And I could just build an entire empire of cash flowing assets, an entire portfolio that's paying me month after month after month. And I can look at the real estate in my portfolio and I see that it's appreciated. I can refinance at any time and pull out additional cash as needed. Guys, that's the reason that I want to invest into real estate right now. That's the reason that I am investing in real estate right now. It's important that you do your own research before you make any financial decisions. All right, guys, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.